Driving at night's always been my thing. The quiet, the solitude, it was soothing. But then, there was that one night last fall that still gives me the chills. I was coming back from a long shift, the kind that leaves your eyes heavy and your brain foggy. It was pitch black outside, and the only thing I could see was what my headlights showed me. The radio was playing those classic hits from the 80s, but the signal was going in and out, filling the car with static that made the hairs on my arm stand up. The road took me through a stretch where the trees loom over you like giants. The moon was just a sliver up above, and everything else was cloaked in shadows. That's when I saw her. She was standing by the side of the road, looking like she stepped out of a black and white film, all vintage and out of place. Her eyes caught the light and shone weirdly bright. I pulled over, even though a part of me was yelling that it wasn't a good idea. She climbed in. The car's inside temperature dropped, and a scent like roses filled the air. "What's your name?" I found myself asking. "Anna." Her voice was a whisper, but it filled the car. "Where to?" I kept it light, trying not to let on how her being there made me feel uneasy. She just pointed straight on, towards the old bridge that no one ever crossed anymore. That's when the radio settled on a song, something haunting and old, not from my playlist. She hummed to it, staring out into the dark as if she could see something I couldn't. The car got even colder as we neared the bridge, a cold that didn't belong in the fall. I broke the silence, trying to connect. "That's a pretty tune." But she didn't seem to hear me, lost in her humming. "Stop the car," she said all of a sudden. Her voice was soft, but it hit hard, commanding. I stopped, right there, with the bridge just ahead. When I looked over to her, my heart nearly leapt out of my chest. She was gone. No doors had opened, no sound of her leaving. Nothing. She just wasn't there anymore. But outside, on the road to the bridge, there were flowers. They looked freshly picked and were just lying there. My mind raced, trying to piece together what had just happened, but there were no pieces that fit. I got back in the car and drove home faster than I ever had before, the radio now silent, my eyes on the road and my mind swirling with questions about what had just happened.